Today, I'm bringing you guys along with me to not one, but to two different estate sales. Both of these sales were quick little in and outs, but I got some really interesting stuff, some good stuff, and some stuff that I bet a lot of you guys don't know about. So sit back, relax, and enjoy. Hopefully you learn a thing or two. Let's check out what I got.
Mike, Raul, Ben.
So here we are at the first estate sale. The reason I decided to come to this one first was because there was a huge box of what looked to be NES games sitting down in the basement of this house, and I wanted to try to get my hands on them.
Hi guys.
Hey, what's up?
And as you can see here, I was the first one to get to the box, which means the carts are coming home with me, and there ended up being about 25-ish games total.
Yeah, it's the first day, man.
And after I finished digging through that box right there, I did a quick little lap around the basement, didn't really see anything I wanted to grab, so I decided to head up to the bedrooms and see if there was any treasure waiting for me up there. And right up here on top of this shelf, I spotted a few electronics that caught my eye, the first of which was this Nikon Coolpix camera. Some of these can have some good value, so I decided to look up the specific model over on my phone, and after I looked it up, I determined it was probably worth grabbing. There was also this little tablet here, but after looking up the model, it didn't end up being worth very much, so I decided to leave it. But I did end up grabbing this laptop underneath. I looked this thing up, and it turned out to be a pretty decent score. Not the newest model of laptop, but definitely worth picking up. And then I did go through the clothing at this sale. I didn't really find all that much, but I did grab a few pieces. After that, I went back down to the main floor and ended up finding a nice little camera pickup. After that little camera find right there, I went to do one more lap around the house, but I really didn't make it that far in because this ended up happening.
Well, if you were gonna add more to it, I just like cancel it.
Oh. Oh.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Give me 1 second.
It was a little hard to see right there, but this guy was buying a glass fire extinguisher. It still had like the chemicals and stuff on the inside. He agreed to pay $150 for it, and right when he set it down on the ground to pay, he ended up cracking it. It ended up spilling everywhere. All the chemicals came out, started filling up the room. It smelled really, really bad, and I didn't want to breathe that in, so I just decided to get my stuff and go cash out after a few seconds. And yes, they did end up still charging him $150 for that broken fire extinguisher. You know, you break it, you buy it. That's kind of the rule that these sales go by. Let me know what you think about that down in the comments.
All right. Start pulling it up for you.
Oh my goodness. Did you get this upstairs?
Yes, these three were all up in the same, in that drawer that was kind of pulled out.
Everyone upstairs, do not go downstairs. There is a potential hazard.
And a cool hat.
What does it say?
Coke.
Oh yeah. Did you not Coke stuff, right?
Yeah.
So you are at with the two cameras and everything, you're at 220.
220. Okay.
Yeah.
And that pretty much wraps up everything for the first sale. Now let's go ahead and hop over to the second sale of the video. Here at the second sale, it ended up being less of an estate sale and more of a I just need to get stuff out of this house kind of thing. So he was giving some really awesome deals. I really wasn't sure about that at the beginning, but I still ended up grabbing some pretty cool stuff at this sale and some really valuable stuff as well. Some of my favorite finds of this video were actually in here in this bedroom. You can see everything was just piled up on this bed, and there ended up being some pretty decent vintage clothing pieces in this pile.
A lot of clothing.
It is kind of cool, you know.
Yeah.
It's signed on that side.
This is cool. It's a Bulls. Nice. Yeah, I am. Looks like there's a couple Bulls tees in here. Look at that. Okay.
I can see you have more than clothes.
It's kind of a cool one. Oh, other Bulls. Look at that guy. That's cool.
After going through that big pile of clothing, I decided to go head over to the basement to see what was down there. And look at this guy coming up. He has a whole tray full of stuff. Game Boy Advance, Space Jam handheld, some other little things. He definitely scored in the toy section, but luckily he looked over a very profitable thing, and I ended up getting my hands on them.
Some Tamagotchis.
That's right, we got some vintage Tamagotchis. If you guys follow my channel, you know I love these things, and I just kept pulling them out one by one out of this box and ended up with a boatload of them. And after thoroughly going through that box of toys and checking out the rest of the basement, it was time to head back upstairs and cash out.
Brother, I'm ready to.
All right.
Alright, I got clothing, and then those
I'll
guys
do,
in there.
25 bucks.
Sounds good.
Always
I'm
nice-
easy.
always nice to see you.
Okay, like I said, quick little in and out sales, but hopefully you guys were able to spot some of the gems that I picked up. We got video games, we got electronics, we got clothing, and I bet you guys don't know the best things that I ended up picking up. I think it's going to surprise you. But I think we'll go ahead and start with some of the video games. Alright, got quite a few NES games here. First up, we got Blades of Steel. Then we've got Monopoly, Anticipation, Tecmo Super Bowl, Kung Fu, Heavy Barrel, Super Mario Brothers, and Mickey Mousecapade. Second stack, City Connection, Mario Duck Hunt, and Track Meet. Ooh, this is a good one. I think this might be the best one of the lot. Mega Man on the NES. I think this is like an $80 game. Laser Invasion, Top Gun Second Mission, Fast Break, and the last one in that stack, Dragon Warrior. Final stack here. TMNT the arcade game, Castlevania Simon's Quest, Blaster Master, Off-Road, Zoda's Revenge. I'm not familiar with that one. I don't think I've ever played that. Super Mario 2, that's a classic. Nintendo World Cup, and finally, Abadox? Abadox, is that how you say that? Probably butchered that last one. But that's not all I got at that sale. I also got some pretty cool electronics. And they were pretty good electronics. The first one here is this Acer laptop. This one right here by itself is going to cover the cost of my entire purchase. I should be able to get around 230 to 250 bucks out of this guy. Then I got a camera. This is a Canon A35ML. And real quick, if you're ever buying cameras, always open up the back of them to make sure there's no like gunk and like the film's not degraded in there. Also, it's a good idea to check the battery compartment on these because a lot of times the batteries are left in and it's corroded. This one is in good shape. And speaking of cameras, I also ended up getting this little guy right here. This is a little focus. There we go. This is a Nikon Coolpix. The model is the S4300. And then the last few things I got from the first sale were some clothing items. The first piece here is an Ohio University sweatshirt. Then we've got an all over print Christmas sweater here. This is by Michigan Rag Co., which is a good company to look out for. Some of their prints can go for some decent money. And this is a Christmas one, so it should sell really fast right now since we're heading into the holidays. And finally, this one's just a nice little funny one. It says Nature Calls. It has a portal potty on the front, and it's dated down there 1995. Now, the final two things I have from that sale were a couple of accessories. We got a Coca-Cola hat, and the last one, a Harley-Davidson belt buckle. And that's it for the first one. Let's move on to sale number 2. And I might as well start off with what I think are the best items that I picked up of this entire sale, and it's going to surprise some of you. These Tamagotchis right here, all of these little handheld digital pets from the 90s. So let's start from the bottom value-wise and then work our way up. The first one here is a Littlest Pet Shop keychain. There we go, Littlest Pet Shop keychain. Then there were 3 of these Digipets. But the best ones of the sale, and the ones that I think are going to surprise you guys, are these ones right here. These guys right here are Tamagotchi connections. There were 6 of them total in this lot, and believe it or not, the value on these ranges between $80 and $120 each. Yeah, I'm not joking. These little things right here are money. Do not pass them up. So hopefully that's a bolo for some of you guys. I know it's crazy to think that some little keychain can have that much value, and what's even crazier is if you can find one of those new in the package, they can go for over 500 bucks for a single one. So do not pass those up. Just make sure to look out for a date on the back of these devices because they have made some newer ones recently that look pretty dang similar, so you want to make sure that yours are the original authentic ones from the late 90s and early 2000s. And those weren't the only cool toys I got at that sale. I also got these guys right here. These are a couple of Star Wars model kits. They are dated 1980, and when I opened the boxes, the pieces inside are new. The boxes are in a little bit of rough shape, as you can see, but the pieces inside are new. And contrary to popular belief, a lot of Star Wars stuff doesn't really hold its value very well unless it is from the late 70s and early 80s. These ones are dated 1980, so I figured I'd take a chance on them, but after looking up comps, it doesn't look like they have a ton of value, but they're still pretty cool, and I should be able to sell them as a set for, I don't know, maybe 60 bucks. Now, let me show you all of this. There were some really good clothing pieces in there. So at this sale, they had all of the clothing laid out on a bed, and the very first piece that I ended up finding was this guy right here, 1991 Chicago Bulls World Champs by Salem. And then that piece was followed by a few more Bulls pieces, like this one right here, Real Men Wear Red, Chicago Bulls, again by Salem, 1991, has the brand new sticker still on it, and if that wasn't cool enough, it is signed on the back right there. Focus. There we go, right there. It looks like it says Horace Grant or Gantz right there, number 54, Chicago Bulls. I'm gonna have to look that up. If any of you guys are more knowledgeable than me and know who that is, let me know who it is down in the comments. And not only did he sign that shirt right there, there was also this sweatshirt, Chicago Bulls. This one's a little dirty. I'm gonna have to wash it and clean it up a bit. But he signed this one on the back as well. Then we got a couple more shirts. We got Quadrophenia 2013, a 1990 To Be or Not To Be Monkey shirt, a 1994 Chicago Bears tee. Then there was one jersey, a Chicago Cubs jersey on the Dynasty tag, no name on the back, still cool to find. And finally, the last piece was this little Patagucci snap-up fleece. And that's it. That's everything that I ended up getting at these two smaller sales. They were smaller ones, but they were still filled with some good stuff. For me, I think my favorite finds of the sale were definitely the Tamagotchis. Let me know what your guys' favorite find that I had was down below in the comments, or let me know something cool that you guys found over this weekend. Otherwise, that's going to wrap things up for now. Hopefully you took a thing or two away from this video and learned something. If you did, please go down low, smash that like button for me, and while you're down there, consider subscribing to my channel for more content just like this, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one. So, till next time, keep on treasure hunting. Peace.